Skål. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another beer review for you guys, and I'm continuing looking into Fanø breweries. This one is going to be the last one from Fanø brewery this time around. I may go back and visit it, the beers, and maybe even the brewery. This one is kind of sponsored, or as this beer and one other beer, I got two of these, was a gift from the master brewer on Fanø brewery called Steve. Was a pleasure meeting him a couple of months, or in the beginning of July. I was over there on the island vacationing with my children, and of course we visited the brewery, and I had a brief chance to say hello to the master brewer Steve, which was a pleasure. I would have liked to spend just a little bit of time with him, talked about the beers and all of that stuff, but as any good brewmaster or master brewer, he was very busy getting all the beers and everything ready, so he didn't have the time. That's fine. We'll maybe some other time. That would be amazing. Never know, never know. But this beer is the one that the first Fanø brewery beer I tasted. The one that I tasted was a 2019. This one is a 2018. At first I thought that this beer was first made in 2019. Found out that the first time was in 2018. Looked everywhere for it. I couldn't find it anywhere. He was nice enough to give me just 2 bottles. That was very, very great of you, and thank you so very much, Steve. If you've watched my videos, you know which beer I'm talking about. I think, of course, I'm talking about the Red Wedding. I was introduced to this, I think, like maybe 18 months ago or something like that. 16 months ago I was introduced to this by a friend of mine, and he told me that I should try this. I tried out the 2019 version, which was at the time probably in my top 2 best beers I've ever tasted. Last year, or this year, sorry, I got a couple of 2020 editions from my children. And then I started looking for the 2018. As I said, I couldn't find it anywhere, and he gave it to me. I really, really do appreciate that, so thank you so very much. Now let's talk about the beer. This beer costs around 90 Danish crowns for 50 centiliters. This one is only a 33 centiliters, but for a 50 centiliter it costs 90 Danish crowns. But this one you can't get. That's for the 2020 edition. It's 11.4% alcohol. The IBU, I actually don't know. It doesn't say on this small bottle, so I don't know what the IBU is, how high that is or low. I remember the 2019 and 2020 were different, both in the IBU and in the alcohol. The 20 was, I think, 12.2. The 19 and 18, I think, was both 11.4. Sorry. So this one is a red wine barrel aged Imperial Stout. Just the sound of that is amazing to me. So what they do is they make a strong, heavy stout, and they put it on red wine barrels for at least a year. That's what I've been told. That's what they all say, and when they do that, then of course it's true. It's brewed with coffee and lactose. Yeah, and it also says here that it's aged over a year in red wine barrels. I don't know what kind of red wine though. So, but yeah. pairs well, if I believe correctly, from the 19 and the 20 edition. Cake, strawberries, strong cheese, vanilla ice cream, stuff like that. But in my opinion, the 19 and the 20 version is dessert enough in itself. I wouldn't need anything else but this. It's just so full of taste. It's just so heavy, and it's just so powerful that it's really all that you need, in my opinion. I don't know if you can sense this, but I absolutely love this beer, and I'm really excited about tasting the 18 version. So, and that's pretty cool actually. The cap here is, of course, there's a little bit of brownish beer on it, but it actually has a red glow from that red wine, and you can taste, and you can also smell it. So, no sponsored content in this video, and as always, everything on this channel is just my opinion. Keep in mind that this was a gift from Steve, but I do want to highlight that I don't have any agreements or any thing that I owe or thing that I have to do in order for Fanø Brewery, and I don't have a deal with them at all. So this is not a commercial, this is nothing, this is just me really liking a beer and somebody giving it to me. So yeah. And even though it's completely dark and black, almost no foam, and I didn't do this gentle, I just poured it. When you pour it, you can there's actually a little bit of dark red glow to it. Yeah, it's really interesting. Right away, there's a definite hint of red wine. Right away. So there's blackberries. I'm actually getting some blueberries. I'm getting some red grapes. Definitely a lot of fruit there. A lot of red berries there. Some sweetness, and that's the first thing you get. I get, and then all of the malts come out. All of the sweetness from the malt come out, and all of that coffee bitterness comes out. Wow, I love the smell of this. This beer is just amazing. I forgot to. There actually isn't a very specific ingredients list in this small bottle, as there isn't in all the other 50 centiliter bottle that they make. So I can't really explain what kind of hops or malts or anything else it's in there. I just don't know. So yeah, it's good. It's so amazingly good. Wow, it's even better than I remember. Now, when you make these beers that comes out every year, of course they're going to be different every year. And how I remember, the first one I tasted was the 19, but the 20 version was very good. The 2019, in my opinion, was better of the two. This one is exactly how I remember the 2019. So the 2018 and 2019, in my opinion, have a lot more influence from the red wine barrels, whereas the 2020 version is more of a regular stout, but very strong stout, but with a little bit of red wine influence. This one has a lot of red wine influence, as does the 2019 version. This is just my opinion, as you know. So, blackberries, blueberries, red grapes, red berries in general, fruity sweetness that moves into heavy malt sweetness, a little bit of syrup, and bitter coffee. The palate is absolutely a mixture of all that red wine influence, all the red berries, all that sweetness, but definitely, especially blackberries is there a lot, and then slowly it moves into more traditional, if you can, normal flavors and notes from stout. So all that heavy malt, sweetness, bitter coffee, actually a little bit of licorice and all that good stuff. And yes, the thing about this beer is that yes, you can feel that it's heavy on the ABV. You can't drive after a beer like that, and shouldn't at all, of course. If you're in another country and you think about what I'm talking about, in Denmark you can actually drink about 2 beers and then drive. That's legal. If you're, what is that called? Less than 1.5, 0.5 on the when you measure how drunk you are. If you're lower than 1.5, no, sorry, again, 0.5%, not percent, then you can actually drive. That's why I'd say this. With this beer, 1 beer would be enough for you to not drive in Denmark, just to get that out of the way. But this one is just absolutely dessert for me. This is just absolutely amazing, and even though you can feel that it is very high ABV, it's not taking over, and you would never guess that it would be 11. I would think it was 7, maybe 8, and that's so a strong beer, but not like 11.4. That's amazing that they can put this much taste and this many different nuances and levels of flavor and notes in a beer. Is just amazing. So I think you can guess where I'm gonna be putting this. So it's a definite big 10 for me. This beer is amazing, and when you think about that, my expectations of this beer is higher than almost any, and I still rate it 10. It's absolutely wonderful. When you tilt the glass like that, in the middle it's just black, but in the on the edges you can actually, it's actually almost looked like red wine. Big 10 for the Red Wedding from Fanø Brewery 2018. That's it for the video today, guys. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and make sure to hit that notification button just to make sure you don't miss out on future videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it with friends and family. Also leave a comment down below. I will respond to all of them. And please go check out my Instagram account. It is Dunkeren_. If you like what you see there, give me a follow. That would really be appreciated. So yeah, that's it. I will see you next time. And next time is going to be Belgian beers. So keep a lookout for that. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay strong out there. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.